Hey, weirdos. I'm Alaina.
I'm Ash.
And I'm Bridget.
And this is a very special Morbid.
Yes, we have Bridget Marquardt in the house today. Did I say that right?
You did.
Yes. I'm not going to lie to you. I was practicing. I was so nervous to say it wrong because I've said it wrong for years. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
And then I listened to Ghost Bunny and I was like, oh, that's so much simpler than I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like court, like basketball court.
Yeah, that makes sense.
My last name is the same way, where it looks a lot scarier and intimidating than it sounds, because mine's Urquhart, but it's got like the Quhart. So it's like people are like Urquhart. What?
Yeah.
And it's just like, nope, Urquhart.
You're like, no, it's so simple. Yeah. It's the Q's.
It does.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. It throws you off.
It does.
There's not that many Q's in the world.
There isn't.
No.
We're rare. We're rare gemstones,
Rare
us Q people.
And you got extra points in Scrabble for Q, don't you?
Oh, you do? That's worth like 10 points or something.
Hell yeah.
See? Boom.
Look at us.
I know.
We're even worth more.
You guys are out there. All right. So let's get into it. Your new show is called Ghost Bunny, which I love the title.
Oh, it's so good.
And we know it's kind of early. You have 6 episodes out?
Yeah, 6 episodes. I think so.
By the time this comes out, you'll have like 12 out. But so far, what has been your favorite episode of Ghost Bunny to research or record?
Oh, gosh. You know what? Every time I do one, it becomes my new favorite.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that was so good. I love that one. I love that guest. I love the stories we talked about. And then the next week I do another one. I'm like, oh no, that's my favorite one. So it's really hard to pick one.
It is hard.
I think one that's special to me is just the very first one, and it's why I made it the first one. But I like talking about the ghosts of the Playboy Mansion. I feel like there's very few people who have experienced that and can speak about it.
Yes.
So I had Brian Alea on. He was guest service manager for like, I forget how many years now, 20-something years.
Love
and
Brian.
So he, we were talking about all the different ghost stories there and his experiences, the staff's experiences, and then my own there.
That makes sense. Because that's like from the 1920s, right?
Yeah, it was built in 1927. It started in 1926, finished in 27.
What an era.
Yeah, there's lots of ghosts there, I bet.
Yeah, and I mean, just all the energy that's been through there, all the people.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the Playboy Mansion, so it's not just normal energy either,
No.
like a hotel or like somebody's house. It's like really heightened energy and expectations and hopes and dreams and like so much that has gone on there that I just feel like it's extra. Like, I feel like you feel it when you're on the property.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, I feel like it would be like tangible.
Oh, yeah.
And I wish so bad I could go back
I know.
and like walk around and just feel it and see it go in my old room.
Imagine and investigate it too.
Yeah, I would. I wish.
Because to be able to have like, especially now, to be able to have like free reign to just investigate it how you want to would be incredible.
Yeah.
It's so
Well, I
frustrating.
mean, back in the day, I had free reign to investigate everywhere and anything I wanted to do, but I wasn't that sophisticated with all my technology yet or my skills because it wasn't really a thing people were doing back then.
I know, you were like ahead of that.
You really
were
were.
really ahead of
Yeah.
that.
So I had been doing stuff, but back then investigating was more like going somewhere in the middle of the night and carrying your camera with you and like walking around your pajamas hoping you see something in the hall. There wasn't like
REM
tons
pods and like all this other stuff that you could.
While I was at the mansion, I did start my first kit. So I had like an EMF meter and a couple of things in there, some motion detectors, but it was very, very basic.
Yeah.
So
That's so cool though. Did you have any like favorite haunted experiences there, or something that like really stuck with you?
Yeah. So one of my biggest things is seeing a full body apparition.
Stop it.
Out of the corner of my eye.
Oh my God. Where in the mansion do you remember?
Yeah, in my room. So it was the day that so my sister and I had gone to North Carolina to see my brother in Ranger School. And on our way back, we stopped in Atlanta to get my dog.
I remember this episode.
We had to put Wednesday on your chair, by the way.
See that? Yeah.
We specifically did that.
And we got home that night. It was buffet dinner and a movie, so we did that. And then we came back up to my room. My sister's dead tired, just wants to go to bed, but I'm a social person, and my friend Stacy was in there, and we're having a glass of wine, and we got the TV on, and I'm telling her all about our trip. And the puppy, Wednesday, is in like a little fenced off area at the end of my bed, sound asleep, because that's a big day for her. You know?
Exhausted.
Totally exhausted. And I have all her little things in there, her water, her food, her pad, all her little toys,
puppy
everything.
Things.
And I'm telling Stacy, I'm sitting on my bed facing this way. Stacy's at the end of the bed. My sister's over here trying to like put in earplugs and ignore us and grumpy. And then the doorway to my closet, which then goes to my bathroom, there's no entrance or exit in or out of the room from there.
Oh, God.
Is right there. And all of a sudden I see a woman standing in the doorway. And I went,
Stop.
And I turned to look, and my sister immediately like put her hands over her head and like started like kind of to cry a little bit, because my sister's a scaredy cat. And then Stacy is also a scaredy cat, but she was just like, oh my God, I saw something. I don't want to know what I don't want to know what it was. What was it? Like she was like that. You're like freaking out. We all saw it.
Wow.
Whoa.
And I probably saw it the best, or at least I'm the only one that admits to seeing it the best. Everybody else is like, I just want to pretend that just didn't happen.
You're like, I didn't see anything, actually.
Yeah, let's just go to bed.
Forget it.
But it was a woman. She had long, dark, kind of stringy hair. She was very pale. She was a more modern deco. She was wearing like black acid wash jeans and a really oversized white t-shirt. And she was kind of slumped to one side, and she was staring. And I recognize who that person was. Before I even moved to the mansion, a couple of years before, I had gone there to test for Playmate, and I stayed there for 3 days. And I met this woman named Joni, and she was one of the social secretaries. And we stayed up one night just talking, her and I, really late. And she was like, I know you're going to get it. Like, I just feel it and everything.
Joni.
And she was really sweet. And I could tell she was very much the house mother. Like, girls would come in and vent. There was a party going on outside, and some of the playmates were working it. And one of the girls came in and was like venting to her about some rude guy outside and stuff. And so everybody really liked her a lot. And she, when I finally came back to the mansion, she wasn't there anymore, and I found out she had passed away of cancer.
Oh.
And so I'm pretty sure that was her, and I think she was just coming to see the new puppy in the house.
Just that
To be
makes
like, hey,
sense.
girl.
Like, oh.
And to be like, you're here.
Yeah.
She was probably being like, see, I told you.
It was long after I had been there, so I don't think she was necessarily popping in to see me or to confirm that I told you.
You never
so.
know, though. You
But
sat
maybe.
up all night together. Maybe there was a connection, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah,
but
it's true.
I definitely think she came to see the new
Oh, I
puppy.
love that.
That's so cool.
And it wasn't, other than like feeling the shock of
Yeah.
something standing in your doorway, it
Right.
wasn't like a scary experience.
She didn't seem like
and-
malevolent.
No, not at all.
That's crazy. How long did it take for you to recognize who it was? Was it instant?
It's instant
Yeah.
because it's out of the corner of your eye, and then when you turn, it's gone. This happens to me anytime I've ever seen a full-bodied apparition. It's always like here, and then you turn and nothing.
Right.
So it's sort of what I saw quickly.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy.
And I don't even know that I knew for sure that it was her right that second, but I was thinking about it after, and I'm like, you know
Familiar
who that
somehow.
reminded me of?
Right.
And then I went down and I told the office what I saw, and they were like, oh, that's Joni.
Wow.
And then even when I just did my podcast with Brian, the first Ghost Bunny episode, I was like, I'm not going to tell you who I think it is. I'm just going to tell you what I saw, and you tell me who you think it is. And so I told him what I just told you guys, and he goes, that was Joni.
Oh, I love that.
That's to have that much
That's cool.
confirmation around it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had anybody else ever seen her at the mansion before?
No, but here's where there's a little twist. So the OG ghost story of the mansion is that Mrs. Letts, one of the
Yes.
original owners, haunts the Playboy Mansion.
Right.
And when I was telling the office that I saw Joni, they were like, well, that's interesting because a lot of people used to tell Joni she looked like Mrs. Letts.
So what if, do you think it could possibly be Mrs. Letts?
No,
You
because I
think
don't
Joni?
think the real Mrs. Letts would ever be caught dead in jeans and a t-shirt.
Oh, yeah.
that's
I
true.
think she
Well,
was very
solid
formal,
point. Yeah.
socialite, and from a very different era.
Right,
But very
right.
interesting.
Huh. Yeah, that like two people who looked so similar would end up at the same place.
Yeah. I always
Freaky.
feel like there's something to do with that.
Yeah.
Because you're like, is there some like energy there, or is there some like reincarnation there
Yeah.
happening? You know, like, what is that about?
That is interesting.
Yeah.
I love that.
So it sounds like you've seen other paranormal things.
Yeah, well, my very, very first paranormal experience that I can recall was a full body apparition.
Really?
Wow.
And like, can you tell us about it? Like what else happened?
Yeah, so I saved up my babysitting money. I was 12. Bought a Ouija board.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
first thing I've got to buy. So I've always been spooky though. Like I'd always loved ghost stories. I'd always loved scary movies way before I should be watching that. My parents didn't care. They're like, whatever.
Right.
Same.
That's Alaina.
That's definitely me.
Did not care at all. And I would scare all my cousins by making them stay up and watch these movies with me and stuff.
Yep. Alaina made me spooky.
Yep.
Yes. So I finally get a Ouija board and I'm making my cousin, who's a little bit younger than me, play it. My brother, who's really little, is sitting next to us,
my God.
freaking out, watching us do this. And at 12 years old, you just don't know that many people that have passed away.
No.
So the one person I did know that we could try and talk to was my great-grandfather. He had just passed away not that long before. So we're playing it, we're asking questions, and it's answering and it's moving, but I'm accusing her of doing it, and she's accusing me of doing it, and then we get bored because obviously one of us is moving it. So we put it away, and well, first, before I go on to the next part, my cousin had these weird X's indented into her leg after we got done playing, and she has never recovered from that. As far as like mentally, she's so freaked out by that.
Me.
Something marked her.
Yeah, it was just like indents, like you pressed on something for too long. And I was like,
so
was
weird.
it the game, like board, like
Yeah.
on your leg? But we had it on the floor in between us, so it wasn't like resting on our knees. But she was so freaked out. Later in the day, we went to the movies, and she left the movie to go to the bathroom to take her pants off to see if there was still marks on her leg.
I would be freaked out by that.
Yeah.
She's just like, what touched me? Yeah.
To this day, she's still like, I don't even want to talk about it. Like, she's so freaked by it.
Because you're like, what was the purpose of that?
Yeah.
Like, why did that happen?
It's not going to come back later.
Yeah.
And it's like, depending on how you look at it, is it crosses?
Exactly.
Is it X's?
Yeah.
Like, depending on the angle you look at it. So anyway, then like a few days later, I came home from school, and we live way out in the country. You can see a neighbor's house, but it's way off, and 7.5 acres. And so there's nobody around. I come home. I come in through the back door like we always do, through the laundry room. Go plop down in the living room, probably to watch TV. We'll say do homework, whatever. And I hear the back door fly open. I'm like, oh, obviously I didn't close it tight. So I get up, go back to the laundry room, shut the door again, go sit back down, and I hear it fly open again and like hit the side of the house. And I was like, that's weird. So there must be something wrong with the door. Go back in there, checking it out, like close it. No, it feels tight. Look around outside a little bit. Is there anything like weird going on? No. Shut it. I'm not scared or thinking anything's weird yet.
I love that you're not scared yet. Immediately, I'd be crying.
I know. I'd be like, intrusion. Someone's in the house.
Exactly.
So I go sit back down, and then it flew open again. And this time I'm like
Scared.
Yeah.
And I got up, and I remember just locking, like my heart's like beating out of my chest, and like obviously there's somebody here or somebody's doing that. So I walk into the laundry room. There's nobody there. I go out onto the back porch. I kind of look around. I can't see anybody. I close the door and I lock it really quick, and I'm like pushing on it, and it's locked. It's closed.
Yeah.
So I turn around and I start walking out of the laundry room. And when you walk out of the laundry room, to my right, it's just a long hallway all the way down to my parents' bedroom at the end. And as I'm walking out, I see my great-grandfather standing there at the end of the hall. And then, of course, I turn and look, and it's gone. But I definitely recognized him and saw what I saw. And after that, I was tormented for like, I want to say it was probably like 2 years, maybe even a little bit more, of nightmares, feeling like I was being watched, weird things happening, like just all kinds of stuff.
Damn.
So I think whatever it was came from the Ouija board, and I don't think it was my grandfather at all. I think he just came disguised as him.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
And
a trickster. Is
yes,
that what
a
Rachel
trickster.
Davis calls it? A trickster.
Yeah, totally. And my family are not into the paranormal, didn't know anything about all of this kind of stuff, and are just tripping out. And they didn't know what to do. So half of my family thought I needed to speak to our pastor at our church, and the other half of the family thought I need a psychiatrist.
Oh, God.
So we did both.
You're like,
You might as well cover both sides.
And I don't think either one of them necessarily helped, except each had like kind of a good advice for me. The pastor, I feel like, did not believe me at all. But he did tell me to keep a diary of everything. So I started doing that, and I think that's a great idea for anybody who's having experiences. Because I wish I could find that diary now, and we can't.
That'd
but
be
it would
so
be
fun to look back
amazing
on.
to go back and read what I was experiencing.
Especially with your podcast now.
Oh my God.
Just
You
to
could
sit
do an
there and read
entire
that.
series just reading
I
that.
think so too.
Oh, we got to find it.
I know.
Let's manifest that it shows itself somewhere.
Yes, let's do that. And then the psychiatrist told me that I should go to his grave and ask him to make it stop. And when I told her that I didn't think it was him, she said it doesn't matter because he might be able to do something from the other side.
Wow. It's that she believed you and like actually gave you honest advice. Or at least
gave you like real, and that was like, I can't believe how like next level you were at that point to be like, that is not my grandfather.
Yeah.
Because a lot of kids might be like, oh, it's grandpa, you know? Like,
no, because it was nothing warm and fuzzy. It wasn't like a guardian angel. It was like scary.
It tells you that the energy was clearly like really palpable for you to be able to be like, no.
Yeah,
definitely.
So I did go to his gravesite and I did ask him to make it stop, and it did eventually stop.
Did it take a while?
It took a while.
Yeah.
Maybe he did what he could.
I bet he did.
You know, I bet he was like, ooh.
What a scary first experience. And I love that you still dabbled after that. You're like, no,
well, for me, it just intrigued me more.
Yeah.
And I was more hell-bent on like experiencing this again, like proving to myself that it was real, because when you're seeing a psychiatrist about it and the pastor doesn't believe you and your family is just like, we don't know anything about any of that kind of stuff, nor do we want to.
Right. Yeah.
You're kind of like, wait, am I crazy then? Like did
is
I
it
not
me?
see that?
Right.
Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, am I just making this up? And that's when you start, like, I really started thinking, did I just make that up for some reason?
Yeah, because
like
your logical brain is trying to convince itself, like,
no way.
Yeah.
Your brain is like, that can't happen.
Yeah, and it gets worse as you get older. I feel like when you're a kid, you're more like you're able to combat that part of your brain and be like, no, I saw that.
Because
like,
you're more
know
open.
It. Yeah, but as you become an adult, it's so much easier to be like, no, I didn't see that.
No, that was fake.
I was just tired. I'm just seeing things because I'm tired. Like, that's it.
I used to see so much more when I was younger. And now I don't really see anything. I feel things for sure.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen anything since, I don't know, maybe like the lady who didn't have a body. She was just made of bones.
Didn't have a body.
She was just made of bones.
Yeah. That's a good song.
She's a theme song.
She was one of our earliest episodes.
Ash literally in one of her old apartments when you were how old? Like,
I was in kindergarten, so I was 5 or 6.
Yeah, she saw a woman. Sounds like the scariest thing you could ever see.
Yeah, she used to just sit outside. My mom and I, it was like a loft apartment. So there was like a downstairs and then upstairs was just like a really big bedroom.
Yeah.
And there was a big closet. And then our bed, my mom's bed was here and my bed was like over there. But I never slept in my own bed when I was little. So I'd sleep in my mom's bed. And I woke up one night and this woman was sitting there in front of me, just bones. And like, she had a face, like her face wasn't a skeleton, but her body was. And she was just haggard and like had like this, like, I think I described it as like cotton candy hair last time we talked about it.
Which horrified me.
And I think she did used to say things to me, but I don't remember what she said.
Yeah, I think I remember you say, because she brought this up.
I was a
when
creepy
it
kid.
Happened. So I remember she was little telling me this, and I was like, that is a nightmare. That's awful. Like, I don't know what to tell you about that.
But it happened like over and over and over again.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was always the same thing.
And I drive by that apartment sometimes because it's like local to where we are, and I still get
Just
weird
bad
fucking
vibes.
vibes from that place. Yeah.
She seemed like she was
scary.
Well, that just reminded me, like, so I say that Ouija board experience was my first paranormal experience, but I feel like it might not have been my first one. Like,
Really?
I think back to, like, my grandma's house, and we used to go up in the guest bedroom to, like, when we'd have family gatherings, all us girls.
Yes.
We had so many cousins that were all around the
fun.
same age, and we'd go upstairs and we'd, like, play games, or we'd, like, just talk about everything or whatever we were doing up there. And I remember the door, and we used to have like a creepy feeling up there, like it was definitely haunted. That house is definitely haunted, I know for a fact. But I would be like, if there's somebody here with us, open the door. And it wasn't like totally closed. It was like sort of open, but we would watch it like slowly start to open.
Oh, wow. So see, that was probably the first
but
ones.
I never thought about that really as so paranormal. I thought about it as more, I loved it because I was scaring the crap out of all my cousins.
And you had like some kind of like Matilda power over the door.
You had help from the other side.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
But that's what it is. It's like little kids are just like, it's not what we see it as. Like, it's wild to see how little kids handle things. Like,
And they just accept it.
They do.
Yeah.
Like, my youngest had a skeleton that she said was in her room. She called him skeleton. But she had like this little accent with it when she would say it. She'd be like, I saw skeleton last night. And we were like, skeleton? Like, what is that?
And she said it like it almost sounded like French.
Yeah, it almost had this like, and she would do this accent when she would do it. And I was like, skeleton? I was like, was it a skeleton? Is that what you're saying? And she was like, yeah, but he's skeleton. And I was like, okay. And I was like, is he like nice or is he mean? Does he scare you? And she was like, no, he doesn't scare me. And I was
just like hangs out.
Okay. And I asked her, I remember asking her, I was like, where is he? And she was like, in my room. And he sits on my bookshelf and just looks at me. And I was like, okay. And I was like, what does he do? And she goes, he does this. And just like leaned out, like just this little pose.
Yeah.
Looking at her. And I was like, okay, you're not scared. And she was like, no. And I was like, all right.
I feel like the fact that she wasn't scared of him means like, I feel like we know Skeleton.
Or
you know
Skeleton
what I mean?
was just like a nice guy. Because she said he'll leave sometimes and come back. And I was like, do you know where he goes? Because I'm like, tell me everything, girl. Like,
what's his lore?
Yeah. I was like, what's his lore? Tell me. And she was like, well, he leaves to go see his family. And then he comes back.
That's fascinating.
And I was like, nice of him to see his family. Like, that's very nice. And I was like, cool. And then one day she said he went to see his family and he didn't come back.
Yeah.
And he's never been back. And I was like, well, that's nice. What a nice ending to Skeleton that he just like went to see his family and stayed there.
But then she had the Mister.
Yeah, she had another one after that.
Named the Mister. How just in and of itself, how scary is that?
Yeah, that's the name of a horror movie.
I literally want to write a scary book about
you
the
should.
Yeah, honestly.
I'm like, TM. Copyrighted to my child.
Yes.
But yeah, she used to bring up the Mister. And she brought it up to my husband once. They were playing hide and seek. And I think they were hiding under a blanket together from my other kids. And my youngest was like, oh, this is where I hide from the Mister. And he was like, I'm sorry, what? And she was like, the Mister. And she said, he doesn't have eyes.
She said he doesn't have eyes. And then John was like, well, then how's he going to find us?
And she goes, the Mister always finds you. And I was like,
isn't that the scariest?
I got like a chill.
I did too, even saying it.
And didn't she laugh?
And she did. She laughed. She thought she was like, oh, he always finds you.
And John was like,
he was
moving
like,
on.
I don't want to play anymore. Like,
let's go downstairs.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I was saying earlier, like I feel things. And that area of your house, it feels off to me.
You always say there's some kind of vibe down there.
Yeah, it's one of the guest rooms and I've slept in there before and I have to like watch my laptop, like watch TV on my laptop until I fall asleep. I can't just close my eyes and go to sleep in that room.
It's weird because even we're going to be talking about some like creepy paranormal games at some point. And I was looking some up last night, like looking up more of them. And I started to like fall asleep a little on the couch downstairs. And speaking of like seeing things out of the corner of your eye, I see things out of the corner of my eye a lot. Mm-hmm. But when I look, nothing's there. Yeah. So I'm always like, am I just like, I'm doing the adult thing? Like, you know,
I just imagined
it's gone. I'm just tired. And I was falling asleep after researching all these games. So I was like a little on edge already. And out of the corner of my eye, in my hallway, something ran by the hallway.
Really?
To the point where I sat up and was like, oh, one of the kids is downstairs.
Oh, shit.
And I got up and like literally went into the hallway. Nothing was in there. I went up to the girls' room, checked on all of them. They're all fast asleep. And I was like, I swear I saw something run by my hallway.
There's vibes in here. I saw a double of Alaina once in here.
Yeah.
That doppelganger.
Yes. It was, and Mikey also saw one.
I don't know why it's me.
Well, I think it's because your energy is like so satiated in here, you know? But it was freaky.
The doppelganger thing is so weird to me.
It freaks me out.
I haven't experienced that yet, but I've heard so many stories about that.
Yeah.
It's so weird. It's very unsettling.
I had never experienced it before, and I walked in here.
She was pale.
After I saw it, and I was literally pale. And I was like shaky too.
You walked in, and I was sitting right here, and she walked back in from the bathroom.
Well, that's what threw me off. You were sitting
I was sitting right
there.
here. And I looked over, and I was like, are you okay? Like, are you sick? Because she had just come from the bathroom, and she was literally like sheet white. And I was like, oh no, are you sick? And
Did you just barf?
You were like, have you been sitting there the whole time? And I was like, yeah, I'm just sitting here.
I was like, you didn't just walk by the bathroom? She's like, no. Nope. And I was like, oh yeah, and you're not wearing a white sweatshirt like I saw you in. And it was just like a flash. It was super fast, but it was you because your hair is so standout. I knew it was you. It was scary.
Those are those are interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what they're all about.
I don't know.
I'm good.
But just to back up for a second, the skeleton and your skeleton, I think that's so interesting that you guys both had a skeleton thing, because I feel like that's very rare. I don't hear. I mean, I've heard so many stories on my podcast and stuff,
right?
That I feel like I haven't heard.
Like
I haven't heard that before. A skeleton,
Actually, why did I never put those two pieces together?
And my youngest said her skeleton too. I was like, ooh, that makes me think it's like old, because she said, I was like, so he's like this, like, you know, like white bones, and she was like, no, they're brown. And she specifically said they're brown.
That's like so much
dark.
more authentic,
and
too.
that's why I was like, oh, I was like, that's like from the earth, like, you know, like been buried.
Yeah.
And for her to come up with, like, she was like 3 or 4.
Yeah, she wouldn't have known.
At that point,
no, because the only skeleton that she would have seen is like a fake toy
white
one, which is pure white.
Like the classic skeleton. And she was adamant he has brown bones. And I was
that
like,
is weird. I don't know why I never made that correlation.
Yours seemed scarier.
Yeah,
Mine was
they definitely
threatening.
seem different, but it's interesting that they're both skeletons.
Yeah, how they present.
Yeah.
That is interesting.
We need to like do some research.
I know, we need to look
that.
into that more. We can figure that out.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Well, and turning, like keeping obviously paranormal, but turning a little bit, is there somewhere that you haven't investigated yet that you are just like, it's on your list that you have to get to?
Girl, my bucket list is so long.
Oh, I love it.
I mean, there's so many places. And then every time I hear about a new one, I'm like, oh, that's going to go to number 1.
We got to shift this around.
Yeah, they're always like everywhere. I want to go anywhere that's haunted.
Honestly, me too.
Waverly is high on my list.
Oh,
It's so
I want to go
high.
so bad.
I'm dying to go to Waverly.
That would be so fun.
I've had them on my podcast. They gave me a virtual tour, like literally walking through with their phone.
Wow.
That was amazing. But like, I need to go there.
Yes.
And
In
I want to see the
person.
creeper.
Oh my God, yes. That's what I'm like dying.
I'll freak out. Like,
Yes.
that's scary to me. Like,
Yes.
that's way more
Terrifying.
scary than like seeing a
Yes.
full body apparition or something.
Yes.
The creeper
Absolutely.
is freaky.
I
Just
hate
the
that.
name, the creeper. I can't.
Yeah. And I've been virtually in the body shoot
Oh my God.
with the tour that they
Stop.
gave me, but
Oh my God.
I want to go. I want to
I
go
do
really
too.
bad.
That place has to have like dark energy.
Oh my God.
Definitely.
You must have to like wade through the energy in there.
Honestly.
so.
You have to like bushwhack your way through.
Yeah. What other places?
There's so many. I really want to go to the Crescent Hotel.
Me too.
I don't know if I've heard of
They're
the Crescent
actually
Hotel.
they follow Morbid.
Oh, shit,
They're always
hi.
saying like, please come.
I
and I'm
had
like,
them on the
girls, I want
podcast.
to come.
Where is the Crescent Hotel?
Arkansas. Eureka
That's
Springs.
not that far.
Yeah, let's go.
I don't even know how far it is, to be honest.
I
but-
follow them on TikTok and I'm obsessed with watching their.
I follow them on Instagram, and
lore.
I'm like, someday I'm going.
we
add
all
it to
should
the
go.
list. Yeah.
We got to go to that one. Have you been to Lizzie Borden?
Yes.
Isn't
But I didn't spend the night. I've done the tour twice.
We spent the night twice.
Yeah, and it's the energy in there is definitely palpable.
Yeah.
There's something in there. Like we felt it for sure. We actually went with 2 girls, 1 ghost both times.
I'm
Or
like,
no,
if you guys
no,
are going
only
to go
just one
again,
time.
I'll go. Tell
Oh,
me.
you wanna come
I'll
with
fly
us?
out
We
here
will
and go.
absolutely go again. That's one place that when we both. So the first time we were there with other people in the house. Like we didn't have the house to
I gotta
ourselves.
rent the whole house.
We
That's what
rented
we did
the
the
house
second
the second
time.
time. That's when we went with Corinne and Sabrina.
Yeah.
And we just kind of stayed up all night walking around by ourselves.
It was so scary.
None of us would go to the bathroom by ourselves. We were like, you have to stand outside the door. Like we were sitting in the kitchen at one point, like the dining room area.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And we were reading from the guest book where people write their experiences. And Corinne was reading them out loud. And some of them were like, you know, the ghost was pissed at me. Because
Sabrina
I had done this. Was it Sabrina who was reading?
Yeah, because then you and Corinne.
Yeah, because that's what happened. So she's reading it out loud. And from upstairs, and we have video of it. I need to find it because you can hear the audio. A woman's voice says something from
Didn't
upstairs.
she say like, is someone down there?
She said like hello, or she
Yeah.
said like, are you there? Something like that. And it was a woman's voice so clear. And I was videoing her reading those, and you can see Corinne and all of our heads went like this because you could hear it like clear as day.
That's so cool.
And we went through there. No one was there, but it was the clearest voice, and you can hear it on that camera.
It's scary.
We had like little kids talking to us through the little thing,
Like the ghosts. What was
saying,
it?
like,
Ghost
will you
tube?
play with me?
And they
And
said
are
like,
you
don't
friends?
leave. Like they didn't want us to leave.
Yeah.
So that's probably coming from the house next door because you know the history
Yep.
of the house next door.
Yeah, and they say that the kids like to play in that top,
That like
Yes.
attic
We were
area.
in that area.
Yeah.
So the first time that it was just me and Alaina that went together, like with other people there, our room was up there that we were supposed to sleep in.
We
I was
wouldn't
like,
stay in it.
I'm not staying in that room. Like absolutely
Ash
not.
wouldn't go to sleep.
it's the attic one that belonged to
Yeah.
the maid.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No freaking way. No.
Ash was like, we're staying up all night. So we sat on the Andrew couch in the living room
And that was better than sleeping.
all night. And every time I would conk out, she'd be like, nope.
hit her.
Wake up. I was like,
No.
okay.
Because I feel like if you're sleeping in places like that, like the energy can get to you easier and like
Yes.
seep in.
I mean, you're
I've had-
vulnerable.
Yes.
Have you had that happen?
Yeah. So the Myrtles Plantation, I'd wanted to go there for so
another
long.
one.
Yeah. St. Francisville, Louisiana. I had read all the books about it, seen little Travel Channel documentary things on it.
Yep.
I'm like, I want to go here so bad. Finally, oh gosh, it was probably 7 years ago now. We went for my birthday. We were going to New Orleans, and I was like, we have to just rent a car and go for the day, or spend the night, one night there. And my husband, he's more of a believer now because I've dragged him to so many places that he's had things happen now.
You're like, how can you argue this?
You
at
have
this
no
point?
choice.
Yeah, at that time he was a good sport, but not. He very, very skeptical.
Yeah.
And so I bring all my ghost hunting stuff, and we're staying in the room. Have you guys ever been there?
No,
That's,
you
that's
covered
on
it.
we covered it on the.
I want to go.
And it's on my list.
Yes.
So
Dying.
there's one room when you rent it, you get this huge room, plus you get this whole sitting area upstairs. The stairs are yours, and the whole entryway is yours. So those creepy stairs and the creepy mirror that's supposedly haunted, all of that is yours.
Ooh,
and nobody else can come into that part of the house.
That's really cool.
We gotta do this.
So we rented that room, and so we're downstairs, and I have my kid out, and he's got the K2 meter over by the mirror. He's being a good sport and everything, and I'm sitting on the 17th step because a man was shot and died on the 17th step. So I'm sitting on the 17th step, and I have my voice recorder and another K2 meter, and I'm like asking questions, and like nothing is happening. Like, you know how the K2 meter usually like blips a little bit, like green to darker green,
But it's just like
it was just doing nothing. And
which
I was
is
like,
shocking in and of itself.
yeah,
because usually it teeters, right?
It does something. So I was like, are my batteries dead? Are the things even on? We did that for like an hour and a half, and finally I was like, I guess nothing's going to happen, so we'll just go to bed. Like, totally disappointed.
Yeah, like bummed.
Yeah, go to bed, and they don't have TVs. I love watching TV at night to go to bed.
Me too. I'm the same way.
So I was like, oh, I'm just sitting there, and I'm listening to that.
So
no,
loud.
it was loud outside because there were like frogs chirping in the pond. Really
and that's
loud.
such a creepy sound.
That can be unsettling.
I was just listening to them though, and like just trying to go to sleep listening to that. And then all of a sudden they just stopped. Pure silence. And I felt like the room got super heavy. And all of a sudden we could hear like kids running around, and we heard like boom, 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 like somebody running up the steps.
Stop it.
And we're the only ones that have key to that area. So I jumped up and I opened the door. Nothing. Ooh. We could hear like furniture moving above us. We were on the top floor. And it was so insane that, like you said about the bathroom, like I had to go pee so bad that I was too scared to go to the bathroom. And it was like 3-something in the morning.
Of course.
Yep.
The whole time we were like holding on to each other, and he's like, "Did you hear that?" I'm like, "Yeah." And then I'd hear something. I'm like, "Did you just hear that?" He's like, "Yeah, I heard it." And we were just like holding on to each other, like freaking out.
It's scary.
And my voice recorder. Well, I didn't know it was my voice recorder. All of a sudden, we heard like an electronic noise, and we both sat straight up. And my K2 meter, he had left it sitting on the nightstand next to us, and it was lit up all the way to red, and it kept like turning off and going red, turning off, going to red, turning off, going to red, like just freaking out. And he's like, "Your K2 meter's making noise." Well, it doesn't make noise.
You're like,
so
what?
I'm like,
So you're like, no, it's not.
So then later the next morning, I realized that what happened is my voice recorder was laying on the floor over by my suitcase, and that had turned on. But it didn't record anything. I was so bummed. But
of course,
it made that noise.
The fact that it turned on though.
Yeah.
It was like, we're ready now.
Yeah, like let's go.
And this went on till like 4 something, and then all of a sudden it was just over. Like you could feel the whole room lighten up. All of a sudden it didn't feel scary anymore.
Wow.
That is
the whole energy
terrifying.
changed. And I was like, I still have to pee, and you still have to come with me though.
You still have to come.
You're like, I'm still feeling it.
Something about having to pee in those situations that you're like, no.
It's those
I'm not
situations where
gonna
you
do that by
always
myself.
have to pee the most too. You're like, I really have to go.
Oh, all
And
4
this
of
is
us
a
would
creepy
just like walk
bathroom.
over to the bathroom and just like huddle outside the bathroom for
Yes.
each other because we were like, no.
Even the bathroom is spooky.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it wasn't close. Like you had to, the room was here, and then you had to go down this little kind of like creepy hall that was
No.
all dark, and then into the bathroom.
And with all that happening, no.
Yeah,
there was no way I was going to go to the bathroom by myself.
No.
And especially when a skeptic, like a healthy skeptic, is hearing these things and it's like...
And they're scared.
Ooh.
Oh, he was like, I can't deny after that. Like, there's definitely something. And he got his hair pulled at the Stanley Hotel, too. So he's like, okay, stuff happens.
He's like,
the Stanley Hotel is so creepy. You need to go so badly.
That's another one I got to hit.
I went once and we just went to like bop around. We didn't book the tour or anything. And even just the energy in there is like weird and dark.
Yeah. You can always feel.
Yeah, you would love it.
What's on your guys' list?
Honestly, Waverly is a huge one in Myrtles. And I want to hit the Whaley House, too. The Whaley House is one I really want to hit.
Yeah. We were talking about the John Proctor house.
Oh, that's one. I think we're going to try to hit that soon, actually. With
they're really nice
Sabrina
there,
and
too.
Corinne.
And they're encouraging of all the paranormal stuff. So they're good. Cool. Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, because I think we actually are trying to book it right now with them.
Trying to figure that out.
Yeah, we just did the S.K. Pierce mansion in...
It's in Gardner?
Gardner, yeah. It's in Gardner.
Massachusetts?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's a wild one.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we did it. We did the case on the podcast, but there's a lot of stuff that happened in that house.
And it's huge. It's a literal mansion. So there's the basement, the main floor, there's like an upstairs and then like another upstairs.
Yeah,
it's not even... Yeah, it's not even really like an attic. It's just like a second upstairs. And there's one room, I forget what they called it. It was the room where like all the guys would like go and play games and stuff, and like women weren't allowed.
Billiards room or something.
Something like that. And the energy.
They call it the they call it the R room.
Oh yes. Yeah. Trigger warning.
Yeah.
Somebody may have been raped in that room, so they call it the rape room.
Yeah.
And it's got that kind of like dark,
it's a
dark
very
energy
aggressive vibe in that room. Like walking in there, you're like, ugh.
And there's a closet that they said, I think somebody was like killed in the closet or something like that.
Or assaulted in some awful way.
And who went in I forget who went in the closet. It might have been Payne because Sabrina's boyfriend Payne was with us.
Yeah.
And he walked in and he like heard something as soon as he walked in there and literally just like bopped right out.
He was like, nope, I'm out.
And there was this weird, that's where that like flash of light started. There would be this weird, it was like a rectangular beam of light that had like dots of light almost. And that's where it first appeared in that room.
It kept showing up on the camera.
Yeah.
But it would show up in like different spots.
And it would be like over people sometimes or like next to people other times.
See, another thing I have to add to my list now.
Yeah.
Place I didn't even know about.
You would love that
You
one.
would love it. Yeah, we won't tell you too much more.
It's got a lot to explore.
Have you guys been to like Villisca or anything like that?
That's another one on my bucket list.
Mine
Actually,
too.
that's a very recent one that I know Ash is like,
I'm so on the fence about going there.
Why?
I like teeter between like back and forth between like, do I want to go and like do that or do I not want to go? Because I just feel like the energy there is like,
it must be the heaviest,
crazy dark.
Like that one. I just need to see the house. I need to because that's another one we've covered. And I went like deep into that one. Like I got sucked into that case because it's just so horrific.
And unsolved. When it's unsolved like that, it drives me crazy.
Me too.
Like, no,
Yes.
I need to know who did this.
Yes.
Like who would do this?
That's
and
the thing.
why?
There was no seeming, like there was no, not that there's every reason to murder, but like some people will come up with reasons.
Yeah.
And there's no real motive.
You had a good theory though. It was like somebody like, wasn't there somebody like on a train or something?
There's a railroad theory that like there was a lot of axe murders that happened like on the railway.
On that route.
That was one of them. But even that, it's like
it's not the strongest theory.
Like the children and everything, and it just like the way
and covering their faces and
the
everything.
brutality of that one.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's just like, you know, that house must be wild to see because like there's still evidence of what happened in that house. Like there's, you know, it's awful, but where he raised the axe and it hit the ceiling, like there's still the marks in the ceiling, which
I think
would just
that's
be
part of it too.
Bonkers to see. Like, and it would just be very interesting. I don't know if I could spend a night in there.
I don't think I could spend the night. You could get me to go, but I don't think I could spend a night there.
I think maybe I could Lizzie Borden it and just stay up all night.
I'm always down to Lizzie Borden. Yeah. I'm never sleeping at any of our locations that we go to.
I feel like the staying overnight increases your chances of experiencing something.
No, that is true.
The further you go into the night, the more it happens.
Well, because the veil gets like thinner and thinner the closer to 3 that you get. So
not only that, but I feel like whatever's there sort of gets used to your energy a little bit,
and
they
testing.
Gets a little more comfy.
Little boundaries and everything. I feel that way too.
Well, that was like when we went to the Lizzie Borden house. We didn't really experience anything crazy for probably like 2 hours.
Yeah,
and then it got later and later, and we started experiencing more. Yeah. And then it kind of died down a little bit, probably at like 4-ish. And we were like, all right, we're going to head out. And we said we were going to head out and started packing up. And it was like you said with your story, like this energy just lifted from the room. And it almost even felt like it got brighter in there.
I think it did.
It
the lights
definitely
kept
did.
doing these weird things where it would dim and then it would like turn off.
Yeah.
And then it would pop back on again. And we were asking them, like, do you have motion detectors or something?
They were like,
Yeah.
no.
And we were testing it, being like, okay, let's stay out here and see if it turns off without motion. None of it worked. Like, none of it made sense. And then we'd just be sitting there and it would just dim off and then flick back on again. And we were all like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it was
going
weird.
on?
But when we were leaving, it was like they were guiding us out of there. It was crazy.
Like they turned on, they were like, lights on, get out.
Bye.
They were ready for us to go.
And don't come back.
Yeah, don't let the door
They
hit
were
you.
like, have we scared you sufficiently?
Yeah. Did you guys experience the cat ghost there?
No, and I wanted
they
to.
told us about the cat ghost. Yeah, you were hoping to.
I think Sabrina might have. Sabrina from Two Girls.
Oh, yeah.
I think she might have. And I also...
Oh, wait, I saw it. Now that I'm thinking about it,
saw
remember?
No.
I couldn't remember if I'd seen what I had seen. I saw a cat walk across.
Oh, shit.
Now I'm remembering it. I don't know why I didn't remember that at first. We were in Abby's room.
Oh, yeah.
The stepmother.
Yeah.
And we were standing there listening to, because we had a tour guide come in and give us a quick tour first, and then they left.
Shout out to Amber.
And Amber, our awesome tour guide, was giving us this like whole spiel about it. And I was just kind of like looking around the room, and out of the corner of my eye, in the doorway, I saw a cat walk around the doorway.
Yep.
And I remember being like, what was that? And I was like, what? And later she told us there's a ghost cat. And I was like, that was the cat.
Because I think you thought it was a kid or something at first.
Because I also saw a kid at some other juncture.
You saw a lot when we went to
and it was
Lizzie
always out of
Borden's
the
house.
corner of my eye. And I would look and be like, am I just like on edge here? And that's why I'm seeing
That's
these
how
things?
it works.
But
Yeah.
it felt too real.
No, it was real.
Yeah.
I believed you.
Yeah.
Ooh, it was scary.
I was, ooh.
You guys want to get even more creeped out and talk about spooky games?
Yes.
Okay. Do you want to start?
Yeah, so I'll start, and then we need to. So we'll start with these two games, and then we have a game that we're not going to like raise anything paranormal. We have a funny "Would you rather" paranormal game to play.
Yeah, spooky edition.
So
All right.
I'm going to start with this little one. It's a very short one, but I thought it was too fun and too scary to not mention. It's called the Devil Face game. And so this is a little like Bloody Mary, where you need 12 black candles.
Okay.
So everyone's got those lying around.
I actually
but I
do.
don't know if everyone else does.
I have like an abundance of taper candles.
Yeah, I do too. I have too many taper
All in
candles.
black?
All different colors. I have like black, white, and red, I think.
You can do so many rituals
basics.
right now.
exactly.
You got it covered. Yeah. But you need the 12 black candles. You need a timekeeping device that will like alert you to a certain time. We'll have like an alarm on it.
So just your phone.
And you need a bathroom.
I got that.
I have that as well. And you need a mirror in that bathroom.
Okay.
So just before midnight, you're going to lock yourself in that pitch black bathroom, which I'm already out.
I was going to say,
at that
I'm
point.
not.
Not happening. And you're going to light all 12 of those black candles. So you're going to have ambiance, some ambient lighting in there.
Be careful. Don't bump into them.
Yeah, it's a fire hazard. So everybody be careful when you do this.
Yes.
Stand in front of that mirror, close your eyes. And this is where that timekeeping device is important because you're going to set it so that it tells you as soon as midnight strikes. And as soon as midnight strikes, you're going to open your eyes. And in front of you in the mirror is going to be the face of the true devil staring back at you. Oh. What happens after that? The world may never know.
No one knows.
I don't know if you just blow out the candles and get the hell out of there and just be like, cool, I've seen the devil and the devil has seen me.
Damn.
And live with that information. But I'm not going to be doing this.
What if this one is just a practical joke and you open your eyes and you see yourself and it's
Yeah.
just
And it's
like
like the
somebody
true
trying to
That's
devil
what I was
you?
staring
thinking
back
too. But you're going to see a warped version of yourself because your eyes aren't going to be adjusted and you're going to have all the
Yep.
candle flickering light. So it's going to look like
It's
a
gonna
weird
look-
version of yourself.
Yeah.
That's going to freak you out and you're going to be like, I am the devil.
It's me.
It's going to give you a complex.
It sure is.
For sure.
It reminds me of Bloody Mary because, did you do Bloody Mary when you were little?
I've done it, yes.
Yeah.
And I
feel
always
we
get
all
so
have.
scared.
That one's scary.
It is scary.
Because it was never clear. Bloody
What
Mary.
happens?
What was supposed to happen? There was all these different versions. Like, is she going to scratch you? Is she going to kill you? Is she going to try to grab you and bring you in the mirror? Or is she just going to scare the shit out of you?
Right.
None of them sounded good to me. So
You did it though, right?
we did do it. Yeah.
Nothing ever really happened.
But
No.
but it does distort what you see in the mirror by doing all the things like the pitch
Right.
black and all that stuff.
And you're so focused
so
too.
you always end up seeing something weird because your eyes do distort the reflection in the mirror.
Well, and then there's scrying too. So you're kind of doing this whole scrying thing while you're sitting there doing that. So you never know what you're pulling up.
What did I pull? Yeah.
That's freaky.
It's scary.
I think I was in like 2nd grade the first time I did Bloody Mary, and I got in so much trouble. My mom was like, no, don't be doing that.
No Bloody Mary.
Because I ended up screaming because I went through with everything and then nothing happened, but I was like so scared that I was screaming. My mom's like, what are you doing?
Well, and it's a rough game to play because they don't tell you, like, you should be closing these things after you open them. Like properly.
True. Yeah.
And it's like with Bloody Mary, you're just like, oh, well, there that is. All right, see you later. And it's like, what am I doing here?
She's following me around now.
Like that's what probably happened, when you were 12 with the Ouija board.
Yeah.
Because you probably didn't know how to properly
close definitely didn't close anything.
And I feel like that's when shit goes awry.
Yeah.
Like when it can't be closed.
Definitely.
Like everywhere we always leave, we're like, don't follow us, stay here. Like we always do.
We do
this
a
whole
dance.
thing.
We like shake everything off
we always
of
shake
us.
it out.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. Shake it all off.
We have to.
So that is the devil face game. But the next one is a little big. It's a little longer, has some more steps to it. And this one scares the shit out of me.
Oh, no.
I will not be doing this one. All right. So this one is referred to, if you go, there's a really good website. And she also has a very good book. It's The Ghost in My Machine is the website.
Oh, that's where I got my game from.
Yeah, and we talked about her in our last we did episodes about scary games, and we talked about her a lot, Lucia, and she has an amazing book. We'll link it in the show notes. Go buy it because it's so interesting. But she was the one that I found this out from her website. She refers to it as the bath game. So this is a Japanese game originally, or originates from Japan. It can also be called the Daruma-san game, and I'm so sorry if I'm pronouncing that like a shitty American. I apologize. But it's essentially high-stakes tag with a really angry ghost.
Oh, I don't run, so no.
Yeah.
Nope.
I'm out
immediately.
It can also be looked at as deadly, possibly deadly red light, green light with an angry ghost.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
That sounds like a nightmare.
So here's how you play. You're going to fill a bathtub with water. Like you're going to take a bath. You're going to get naked. You're going to get that bath. Like you're going to take a bath. Have yourself a tub. Like do your thing.
You're going to get in a relaxed
I like it so far.
Relaxation, do it all. But you got to turn off all the lights. No candlelight, nothing. Pitch black. You have to sit
that'd be
in that.
weird.
No, I would not be able to relax like that.
Me neither. Doors got to be shut. So you're sitting in the pitch black, naked in a tub. And according to Ghost in My Machine, you should sit so that you are facing the faucet and like the little handles.
I do at least sit that way.
And now you're going to close your eyes.
It would be very uncomfortable to sit the
other way.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like you should sit that way anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know your life. I don't know if people like that feeling of that thing in their back. I don't know. And if you do, more power.
Yeah.
But this way,
not for this
comfortable way.
It's important.
Yeah, not for this one. You're going to close your eyes, and now you're going to start washing your hair.
In the bath?
With your eyes closed. So eyes closed, start
so wrong.
up that hair. Start going.
Then you're just sitting in your own hair filth.
You sure are, but that's the least of your worries at this point. And as you do this, you are going to be repeating out loud, Daruma-san fell down, over and over and over while you wash your hair. You're going to do this, like the ritual is happening as you're saying this and as you're washing your hair. You're not going to stop saying that until you are done washing your hair. And as it's happening, you're going to get an image in your mind of a Japanese woman standing in a tub.
Okay.
You will watch behind your own eyes as she slips and falls, and she will impale her right eye on a rusty faucet.
What the fuck?
What?
And you're going to watch all
crazy.
this. Yeah. As you're taking a tubby, you're going to be watching all this.
Impaling your eye with a faucet? Like, think of how big a faucet is.
Oh,
get your tetanus shot.
Yeah, so it's even worse. So you're out of there. The eye is gone. And the faucet has that eye now.
Okay.
You might actually hear things in the bathroom as this is happening, but you cannot open your eyes.
Okay, so this is all just a mental.
You are all
video
in your mind, and you will hear things in the bathroom. You may even feel movement in the tub with you, but you are not to open your eyes.
My whole legs just got like a weird shiver in them.
Mine did too.
Right?
Mine did too.
I don't like it.
I'd be out. I'd be out way before then. As soon as you turned out the lights and I'm sitting in the tub, I'd be like, nope, I'm not playing.
Yeah, no. I feel like even after hearing this story, sitting in the tub is going to be less relaxing for me.
No closing those eyes in the tub.
I've always had, like, even when I was a kid, like a fear of closing my eyes and washing my hair.
Yeah,
that like
me too.
something's going to be in the shower with me or something.
I'm still that way.
Yeah.
Like, I cannot do the whole, like, just close your eyes and let it all suds down. Like, I'm like.
That's insane.
Yeah, no, I got to keep
Like,
my eyes
I need
open
to
because
see.
the second I close them, something's going to appear.
Something's coming in the shower with
And
me.
I always rub the fog in the shower too if it's foggy.
Oh, you're like, no, I got to see out.
I need to be able to see what's going on. Yeah, you're going to feel some movement in the tub, and that's a boundary I'm not ready to cross.
Loathe.
Can't open that eyes. And as your eyes are closed, as you're feeling the movement, hearing the things,
Crying.
you have to ask her out loud why she fell in the tub, which is kind of rude, to be honest.
Yeah, because the tub is slippery. That's
People fall for a
self-explanatory.
myriad of ways. Maybe she doesn't know. Like, why are you asking her that?
My
But
clumsy
you
ass
gotta ask.
asking her, she'd be like, fuck off.
I'm like, everyone falls, girl. But apparently, whatever. There's a reason. She's not going to tell you that reason, but you have to ask it.
Okay.
So then once you have asked it, everything should kind of chill out. And then you're going to stand up with your eyes still closed. Got to keep those eyes closed. And you are going to leave the tub while your eyes are closed. So take your time. Make sure there's a mat down that you're not going to slip.
Too while you're doing this.
You have to be very
you're gonna
slow,
get your eye impaled.
very methodical. You're going to don't drain the tub. Keep the water in the tub. Leave through the bathroom door. Close the door behind you.
Eyes still closed.
Eyes still closed. Do not turn on any light. You are going to go to bed like a fucking maniac and just go to sleep.
And apparently naked because you
and
can't
wet
see.
hair.
Yeah. Wet
Because you
hair,
didn't dry it.
going to sleep.
That sounds terrible.
You're going to wake up the next morning and you're going to go about your day like right off the bat, but you are going to feel something the second you wake up. Second you wake up, you're going to feel something with you. Somebody's going to be following you. Somebody's going to be watching you. You're going to feel it the whole day. And what you're going to feel is the presence of this woman behind you all day. And when you look over your shoulder, you're going to get little snippets of glimpses of her. And she's going to be terrifying. She's going to be missing that eye.
Yeah.
She's got like long, dark, like really like, the Ring kind of hair.
Yeah.
Like that style. Uh-huh. And she's going to be wet. Like she's just been in the bathtub.
Is she dripping onto you?
No, because she can't get that close to you. That's the point of the game.
Oh.
Can't let her touch you.
Oh.
that's where the tag comes in.
This is where tag comes in.
I forgot about the tag. Good
So
call.
you don't want to get her let her get too close because if she catches you, she's not letting you go.
So you just got to keep
So
moving.
you're going to see her. And once you get glimpses of her, you can't let her get too close. So you have to yell to her, Tomade, which means stop in Japanese. Whenever you catch a glimpse of her, you have to yell, Tomade.
So do this on a day where you're not going to work. Otherwise, you are going to get in trouble.
Otherwise, there's going to be questions.
HR will be contacting
You'll
you
just be
afterwards.
screaming random Japanese commands, and people are going to be like, do you want to
What?
go home? Like,
Yeah.
should you see someone?
Yeah.
So the whole point is you have to stop her and keep her away from you by midnight. If she is still following you at midnight, you lose. And losing is bad. Because if you look over your right shoulder and you lock eyes with her, it's important to lock eyes with her. If she needs to see you, you need to see
or lock
her.
eye.
I was just going to say
Lock eye. Exactly.
literally going to say it.
Your right eye, her left eye. That's where it needs to go. So if you see her, it's fine. You yell stop, but you need to lock eyes for this one to happen. When you lock that eye, you need to yell kita, which means I cut you. And you need to make a chopping motion with your hand. And then she will disappear.
And
if you
that's it.
lock eye and yell kita and chop in the air, she should disappear if you did it right. If you did it to plan, you win. What a life experience. You get to take that with you forever. Good job.
You're crazy.
If you lose, because she will try to hide from you, like when she sees that you are trying to lock eyes and say kita, she will try to
The thought
hide
of this
away.
woman dodging me is horrifying.
Yeah. If she manages to hide from you until midnight, you better skip the planet because it's not going to be good.
On to
'Cause
the next one, babe.
midnight hits, you have now given her permission to come into your dreams. And she can catch you. Now she's become Freddy Krueger and that you can't do anything
And she
about
just
that.
lives in your dreams
And then
forever.
she will just then she'll somehow get you in your dreams.
She can kill you through
and
them.
you'll die.
Fuck.
Oh, and stay out of water. She's in dark places. If you go to water in dark places, she can get you quicker. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
She's nimble.
Or just not play this game.
Don't play it.
No, or don't play.
There you go.
recommend.
The moral of the story.
I recommend not playing this game.
Yeah.
I also recommend. I second that recommendation.
It's very high stakes tag.
It is.
Very high stakes.
It's so weird that you picked that game because mine is a little bit taggy too.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, that scares me. I don't like I get like, I'm one of those anxious people in tag where I'm like, oh God, just hit me. Okay. Like, I hate it. Like, I don't like being chased. So I'm like, ah!
It's like us in the haunted house, Alaina and I always walk through like this and I'm like, we need to not do that because like instinct makes you want to hit someone.
I'm just like always in punch position. Like, I'm going to hit you. Like,
but yeah, I would do that too. And then I'd hit the looky girl or what was her name?
Daruna-san.
I don't even want to say it. I'm too scared.
Yeah.
But I would hit her and then, oof, it'd be bad.
Daruma-san. That is the name. And I guess apparently usually these figures, there's like Daruma-san dolls that are good luck.
Oh, they're good luck.
But this is a whole different take on it. Yeah.
Because you're entering her world. I guess the doll's just entering your world.
You're summoning her.
Yeah. Don't summon things.
Don't summon her. That's not what you want to summon.
Whenever you guys read something like this and you like picture like the steps of the game, do you picture it happening like in your own environment?
Yes, I just pictured it in my bathroom.
I just pictured it in my bathroom and then like dodging her in my kitchen.
Yeah.
You know what? I didn't for some reason. I pictured it in some random bathroom that I've never been in.
That's funny.
Yeah.
You guys got to tell us, listeners, what did you picture?
Yeah.
I'm interested to see like how people process stories like that.
Yeah.
Oh, but then
I never take a bath in that particular bathroom, so.
Yeah, I pictured the bathroom where I take a bath.
Girly.
I'm both. If I do a bath, then I shower after. You gotta. Or else you're just in your own soup. But that's a story for another day.
That's another scary story.
Yeah, exactly. So I have the looky game.
Hate it already.
Which is also known as the Look-See Man game. It's very scary. So this game is one you have to play alone, which already makes it very terrifying.
No.
And to play, you need one candle, matches or a lighter, white paint, and a tool to apply that white paint.
I got all that.
Something to keep time, like your phone or stopwatch, kind of like an alarm, like you were saying. An indoor location where you can play, and somewhere inside of that location needs to have a room with no windows where you can shut a door behind you. So you're not going to start until it's dark out. We need to do this at dusk. And once it's dark out, you're going to walk around wherever you're playing and you're going to count every single window within that space. And you need to be super, super careful not to miss any windows. I would suck at this because I miscount things all the time.
I'd just be too much pressure.
Yeah, I'd be too scared. So once you're confident that you've counted correctly, you're then going to walk around and use your white paint to draw an eye onto every single window. Like an eyeball.
Not in my house.
Yeah, no, don't you draw eyes on my window.
Yeah.
And you need to do it on every single window. It needs to be a large eye. You want to double check, make sure you don't miss a window, because if you miss a window, you automatically lose the game.
I need you to quickly picture getting up to get like a midnight snack or something, and you just like look out your window and you see your neighbor just drawing eyes.
Oh my God, you're like, I know they're playing the looky look game.
Oh my gosh, you'll know.
They're summoning a demon. That's so fun.
That's crazy.
Go to sleep.
I think I'm going to go somewhere else tonight.
Like, wow.
Like, kids
I
want
wonder
to stay
if
in
they'll
a
make it to
hotel.
the barbecue this weekend. Crazy.
The block party's going to be crazy.
Good luck.
Yeah. So, like I said, if you miss a window, you automatically lose. And we'll talk about what happens if you lose at the end.
You know what I always do too? I always go, but does that qualify as a window? Or is that
yes?
Like I always like,
you're like, what is that door a window?
Yeah, it's like those things where you're not a robot. Like how many stoplights? I'm like, well, there's a little square of like part of it in here. Does that count?
Is that what that is? I found this game on Ghost in My Machine, and it said like you know how like windows will be split into panes. Like you don't have to do each pane, but you have to do each window.
Okay, so they get a little more specific.
They do. Yes, I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, I need to know those things.
And like I was thinking too, like even like your garage windows, like how they have the little ones, you got to get those too.
Oh shit!
Any window that you think is a window, count it, eyeball it.
Too much work.
Yeah, honestly, what a way to live to summon a demon like this. But once every window is adorned with that huge white eye, you're going to go around and shut every single light off in your playing space. You're going to grab your candles, your matches, and your lighter, whatever you're going to keep the time with, and you're going to head to the room where there's no windows. And you're going to walk into that room and close the door behind you and wait. And you're going to wait until the clock hits midnight. And then at that very minute, not any minute before, not 1 minute after, stroke of midnight, you have to light your candle. And you have to say out loud, looky, looky, come and see. Looky, looky, you won't find me. And you have to say this aloud 3 times for it to work. And you have to make sure that candle's lit at exactly midnight. Then you have to leave your windowless space and move throughout where you're playing continuously. Like, you can't really stop for too long because now the looky man is looking for you through the windows.
Fuck that.
And if you think he might catch you, you can move somewhere to hide. But if you can't stay in one spot too long, because that's just asking to get caught. And all this time that you're moving throughout the house, you can't let your candle go out.
No.
If it goes out, you lose.
This reminds me of, is it the Midnight Man?
Yes. It's very similar.
Vibes. Mm-hmm. No, without there's no eyes in that one.
There's no eyes. There's eyes in this. We're not even done with the eyes. So after 6 hours, or when the sun comes up, whichever happens first, you're finished and you can blow out your candle. And they say the when he leaves, the looky man, you're going to know and you'll feel different. Like some kind of feeling will wash over you. That's because you've just won the game and now you have the gift of seeing into the future.
Oh, shit.
Oh. Mm-hmm. Well, at least this one has a real reward to it.
Kind of. Because
not just bragging rights.
Nobody's sure, like, if it lasts forever or how far into this future you see or if you see good future things.
Yeah, I was just going to say maybe you see negative things. And
right.
That would be.
Then you go cuckoo.
Yeah.
But at least you didn't die.
Yeah.
But if you lose at any point, the looky man rips you out of your playing space, drags you back to his lair, rips your eyeballs out, eats them, and then leaves you there to die. So
the risk reward is disproportionate here, I feel.
And then at the end, I just wrote XOXOXO.
Gossip Girl.
XOXO looky man.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, I have a fear of, like, when I'm walking around and, like, I don't know how hot it gets here at night, but sometimes it's really hot in California at night. We leave the windows open, and I always feel like there's people, like, or not people, but, like, somebody, like, looking in or something. Like, I always get that sensation of, like, am I being watched right now? Is somebody, like, peeking in the window?
And especially in the dark. In the dark.
Yeah, when it's nighttime outside. Yeah. Oh, daytime, no big deal. But at nighttime, like, because they can see in, but you can't see out.
Exactly. And that's the worst. You're just seeing your reflection. We have a slider door, and we need to get curtains for it so badly. Because anytime I look out the slider door at night, I'm like, what if something's staring at me and I have no idea?
And you're just like,
or what if you're looking at it and you see your reflection, you see something behind you?
Oh, I hate that. Oh, I don't like that at all.
No.
That'd be freaky.
That'd be absolutely terrible.
These kind of games where it's like, shut all the lights off in your house and summon a demon and then try to outrun that demon for a few hours. I'm like, who the fuck is doing that?
You know what? You know who's doing that? And I was thinking about it when I was preparing this. Kids. Kids at sleepovers are doing this.
Yeah.
And I'm going to scare the shit out of my kids because if my kids bring a demon into my house someday, I'm going to be so mad.
I'll be displeased.
Because I've tried really hard not to bring any kind of shit into my house. Even if we record at my house and we talk about something spooky, I Palo Santo the shit out of that room when everyone leaves. Oof.
Kids will bring demons into your house.
If a Ouija board in I'm like very anti-Ouija
board. Oh, you're anti the Ouija board?
I won't play. It's just too much for me. The day I see my kid bringing a Ouija board into the house.
I loved Ouija boards.
Oh, I'm yeeting that thing out the window. No.
See, I swore them off after my experience for a really long time, but then I was at this place one time and they had a Ouija board sitting out and I was like, oh, do you play the Ouija board? And she's like, oh, no, it's more out for decoration. I mean, sometimes we use it, but it's more decoration. And she's like, why, are you afraid of them? And I was like, yeah, I had like a thing and I don't really, deal with them at all. And she was like, it's no different than, you use like the pendulum, you'll use the dowsing rods, you'll use the voice recorder. You're communicating
no matter what.
What's the difference?
Mm-hmm. Sabrina literally just said that to me.
Yes.
Our friend Sabrina was here and I was using the pendulum. She's like, and you won't do a Ouija board?
Yeah, she was like, it's the same thing.
It feels different. And
but it's not.
But it sort of is because there's not really like steps to closing out the pendulum. Like
I think there is.
I've never closed.
I think you can close out a pendulum session.
I'm sure you can, but like I feel like nobody ever stresses the importance of it. People like really heavily stress the importance of closing out the Ouija board game, and I'm not good at steps, so I feel like I'm gonna miss one, and I'll just fuck up my life. I
think you would love it if you did it. It would blow your mind.
Well, I went and bought one, so
hell yeah,
I'm back in the Ouija board club. The problem with
game.
the Ouija board for me is that it's too slow.
Really,
I know it is.
Like I would rather
you need patience.
Yeah, like oh my god, we have to sit here and spell out everything I'm asking.
I've never played one ever.
Oh. That's the thing. It's like
your dying dream to get me to play Ouija board.
It really is, because it's like the energy of a Ouija board. Like, I was always pretty neutral on Ouija boards, but like thinking about it when I used to do it when I was younger, I was like, man, there's nothing like when that thing moves for the first time or spells something out that you're like, that's a word. Yeah. Like, why did that spell that out?
I don't know why it creeps me out so much because I would do a seance, which like really isn't different.
Way worse than a Ouija board.
It's probably worse. I don't know.
Like 100% worse.
It's just like a point system in my head. Like Ouija boards, no.
I feel like we'll get you at
You
some
probably
point.
will. I'm very easily pushed around.
Well, we can go stay at the Lizzie Borden house and play with the Ouija board.
They won't let you there.
Oh, they won't?
No. So crazy story.
They had a crazy one.
So you could, when we went the first time, I was like anti it, and they had multiple Ouija boards. Yeah, they had multiple. And the next time we went, Alaina and Sabrina wanted to do it, and me and Corinne were like, no, we're good. And they asked if they could do it, like the people that run there, and they said, no, we actually banned Ouija boards because somebody stole a Ouija board from like when they did have a collection.
Old Ouija board.
I think it was like the oldest one they had. And then it was missing for like months and months. Yeah. And then one day the Ouija board, somebody came to work and it was just sitting on the steps of the house with a note. What did the note say?
Make it stop.
The note said, make it stop.
Oh, I just got chills.
I did too.
I got chills.
Yeah, ever since then you can't do Ouija.
They literally returned the Ouija board after sealing it.
Yeah. And we went to the S.K. Pierce mansion too, and they won't let you do Ouija boards.
I also think that was just bad vibes. It's like you stole a Ouija board. Like,
right.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
From a crime scene.
Totally
like, don't steal one from a crime scene.
Yeah. I forget what happened at S.K. that they won't let you. There was a story.
I think I think that was just like
they're just against it.
I think because they think there might be like portals in that place.
Oh,
and they don't want, or somebody created one. I think with a Ouija board because they had banned them outright from the beginning. Mm-hmm. I think they just didn't want to like deal with it. Essentially,
I think that's the thing about Ouija
somebody
boards.
Did it against the rules, and they said they opened something up that
they can't.
So they
close.
definitely won't.
I think that's the thing too, is like you always hear about portals associated with Ouija boards and like not being like opening up something that like you
I think
close.
that's when it's not properly closed.
Yeah.
I think it's when people like fuck around.
But that's my fear.
Yeah.
If I was doing a Ouija board with people, they would need to be very serious.
Yeah.
You know?
Very serious.
Very serious
situation.
But that leads us into Would You Rather.
Because that's not summoning anything.
Exactly.
Except for funny answers.
That's good, clean fun.
Yeah.
So, Bridget, would you rather spend the night alone at the Lizzie Borden house in Fall River or at the Whaley house in San Diego?
Alone.
I would rather probably the Lizzie Borden house.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. What would you do if you had like the whole house just to yourself?
I would probably just sit there and see if I can experience anything, just like not even necessarily with equipment or anything, just see what I feel, what I see, just kind of what the emotion is, what the house is doing itself.
I feel like the Lizzie Borden house would be cool to experience alone. I probably wouldn't do it, but
I couldn't do it by myself.
Yeah.
And the Lizzie Borden house is set up more as a bed and breakfast type thing. Yeah. And the Whaley house is not. It's strictly a museum, so I feel like it would be way more comfortable to stay at the Lizzie Borden house.
You could lay down if you wanted to.
True.
But logistically, the Whaley house is much closer for me.
Yeah, that's true.
But we're going to get you back for Lizzie Borden now. We're going to set this up.
Yeah, we should, honestly.
It's like one of those things that I feel like I should have done. Like I should have spent the night there by now.
Oh, it's such a different vibe.
Next time you come out, tell us and we'll set it up.
Out. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll
I've gone to her grave. I've, checked out the house next door. I checked out the house that she moved to. Yeah, Maplecroft. Yep. So like I've been all around it and done everything except for actually spend the night.
Now it's renting the house out. Get everybody out.
Yeah.
And just us in there. It's such and you like just have such free reign to go around and
now they're familiar.
How you want.
They're familiar with us. Yeah. So I wonder if it would change the experience at all.
Smell us coming.
Yeah, maybe.
We had a lot of REM pod action.
Lots of REM pod action.
Where they would be going off like insane. And it was always the touch one.
Same in the SK house, remember?
Yeah. We had a lot of
mansion.
Yeah, it was crazy.
We Holly and I put up the REM pod at the Queen Mary. We were in a like a suite. So we were out in the living room part. We put the REM pod in the bedroom area, and it would not stop going off.
So
like not
creepy.
stop. Like we had to just turn
terrifying.
it off. Like we couldn't even record anything because it's just so loud and constantly beeping.
And once it started, that was like we did the USS Salem.
Oh God,
in Quincy.
Oh yeah.
And we did it with Sam and Colby.
That's the scariest place I've ever been.
And it was that was a wild one. And we went into like the mess hall area. And as we were going in there, Sam like jokingly said like everyone report to the mess hall.
And they did.
They put down the little, like, the lullaby box thing. It was like that little, essentially, it's like the REM pod where it's like the motion.
Yeah.
He put it in the doorway, and we all sat down. And as we were sitting there, it just went off like dozens of people were walking into the room.
And it was toward the end of the night. Like, it hadn't really, that specific thing hadn't been that active.
Really gone off. And it's like, and it was going off literally like a herd of people were walking in the room. And we were all just watching it like, it was almost like he called for everybody and everybody was like, to the mess hall.
Yeah.
Like they all, it was like, we tried to debunk it. We were trying to do it. It was so spooky. Like that thing went off for like 10 minutes straight. It was insane.
Yeah, that room specifically, the mess hall, that was where somebody like blew in your ear.
Yes.
Yeah.
I felt someone blow into my, I could feel the hair move into my face.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It scared the shit out of me.
That was creepy.
Yeah.
I got poked in the back there and like a little girl spirit like tagged along with us and like was talking to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not like I couldn't hear her, but like she was talking to us through like the ghost tube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
That one's a cool one too.
And then we got chased out of there.
We sure did.
Yeah. That was scary.
Yeah. They didn't want us there anymore.
It was like me and Alaina, and there was one specific room where one like entity or ghost there didn't like women and like didn't want them in that area. And of course we went in that area. And we had the ghost pod or the ghost tube up, and what did it say?
Yeah, because
like
Sam and Colby went to a way other part of the ship because they wanted to see if leaving us alone something would happen.
We were down. They said they were like, "Are you guys cool to do that?"
Yeah, like we were like, absolutely.
We were like, "Hell yeah!"
And I think it said
contrition at one point.
Yeah, and it said
and then it said repent
at one point, and it said something about like sinful or something. It kept saying like very like biblical things at us like over and over, and then at one point it said abort,
and as it said abort, something fell in like the other end of the room,
super loud,
and it was so loud we booked it out of there.
Oh my god!
I ended up like knocking something over. Colby was like, "What did you knock over?" I was like, "I don't know, I'll pay for it." I'm terrified.
Oh my god,
it was so scary.
It was so scary, yeah,
but it was crazy.
That was wild. All right. Second would you rather question is so random.
This one's my favorite.
I found these on Google. It said, would you rather have plants that whisper dark secrets or become a werewolf every full moon?
Plants that whisper dark secrets.
Me too. Yeah.
I know. That's pretty great.
Mikey was like, are they my dark secrets? Or are they like just dark secrets in general? Up to interpretation.
Yeah. I'd rather that.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't want to turn into a werewolf. That sounds painful.
Yeah.
That's the only thing stopping me from picking that one is I'm like, I feel like that sounds painful.
Yeah, you'd be sore the next day, I feel.
Right?
Yeah.
Probably.
And I enjoy the full moons. I just want to like
too.
appreciate it.
I just want to buy
crystals.
Yeah.
Yeah. Drink the moon water.
Yeah.
I don't want to have
and
to go
listen to
like
my plants whisper.
Yeah, exactly.
whispering dark secrets that aren't mine.
Yeah.
You're like, whoa, that's crazy. What'd she do?
Yeah. Tell me more.
You just walk by your plants and they're like, hey. And you're like, oh shit,
I have something to tell you.
what is it?
And then last one, this one's crazy. Would you rather have nightmares every single night that came true or live a life where you cannot distinguish between reality and your dreams?
I mean, not being able to distinguish might be kind of a cool way to live. You're just
I know,
like,
You're kind of
true.
just tripping through life.
Yeah.
Literally.
Honestly. I think
I don't want nightmares to come true. Those are so frightening sometimes.
That's the thing. Some of my nightmares are way too gnarly to be coming to life.
Like I barely remember my dreams, but like the one when you say the word nightmare, the one that comes to mind is like I was like on this like cliff edge and I was like trying to hold on with like just my fingernails and I was like so on the edge and people are like, you have to walk back this way. And it would mean I'd have to turn around and not this like I'm barely holding on and I'm literally like peeling my fingernails back, trying to hold on to the side of the cliff, and it was like freaking me out. So I think of things like that. I'm like, that's a nightmare to me, and that just becoming true.
That's scary.
No, thank you.
I have like a recurring nightmare that I've had for years and years and years. I get it like once a week, I swear.
Once a week?
Where I'm outside and I hear a plane very loud, and so I look up and a plane crashes like in my yard, like right in front of me. And I can see it getting like bigger and bigger in the sky kind of thing. And it crashed. And then I wake up.
I don't like that you have that every week.
I have it so much.
Like, is somebody trying to tell you something?
But it's just me like witnessing it.
That's
and
scary.
then I wake up.
Yeah.
Because I hate the idea of that. Like the idea of that is, I think it's because it's one of my biggest fears is like seeing that happen.
Yeah.
Like, right. I don't like big things.
Yeah. You have that. I forget what it's called.
There's a phobia associated with that. I hate like big buildings or like statues freak me the fuck out.
We drove by a boat once that had like a bunch of airplanes on it, and she like freaked out. I don't blame you. It is.
It just makes me uncomfortable. Like I don't like it.
Yeah,
that's interesting. I don't like blimps.
Yes. Oh, I get
they
that.
freak me out. Yeah, like when I see them hovering like that.
Yeah, they're too big.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah, there's just something about them.
And they just hover.
And it's just that little compartment. And like the big.
I feel like I need to go on one so I don't.
So you can be like, it's fine.
Negatively of them anymore. But every time I see one, I'm always like, ew.
Hate you. Hate your energy.
Or like Nick will send me a picture of one and be like, just as for funny, like he's driving to work, he'll see one, take a picture of it and send it to me. I'm like, no, I don't need to see the Goodyear blimp today.
Yeah, that's disgusting. I don't need to see it.
Hate that.
That's what John will send
Hindenburg.
Yes. John will send me pictures of like these huge statues around the world.
Oh,
like,
no.
There's like in other parts of the world, there's statues that are just not natural. Like they should not exist. True. They are far too big. And he's always like, look at this one. And I'm like, like I can't.
We could never take you to like Dubai or something because all the buildings are like crazy tall.
I would lose my mind.
Oh, that's like my dream.
I would lose my mind.
I love heights.
I'd be like, this is too much.
I was just in Scotland and they have what's called the Kelpies. And they're these giant horse heads coming out of the water. God. You would hate them.
That sounds horrific.
Oh my God.
They're bringing you to them.
Scotland is my like ultimate bucket list place.
Yeah.
Like ultimate bucket list place.
Yeah. There's a castle called Urquhart Castle. Yeah. It's not our family's, but we got to see it.
We got to see it.
Yeah.
Like we don't own the castle.
I'm like, what's not
it's
ours.
ruins now, but
yeah, that'd be fun.
It's right on Loch Ness.
Yeah, that'd be crazy to see.
Yeah.
It's one of the stops.
Oh yeah,
we
got to
do
that.
that.
I know because my dad's like, we got to go to the Highlands.
Yeah,
it's his side of the family is like
we went to the Highlands.
Scottish.
Yeah,
did you go?
We didn't go to that castle, but we went into the Highlands and everything. We went to other castles and we did like tasting too of different things, scotches and Scottish salmon and chocolates and like all their things, meat pies, all their all their things.
Amazing.
So fun.
I really want to go to the Isle of Skye.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, we didn't do that.
It's supposed to be very like I feel like the girls would just go nuts over it.
Definitely.
It's all like the fairy rings and like fairy pools and all that. I feel like it would just be like insane to see.
I definitely want to do that.
Scotland is calling me.
Yeah.
It was awesome. We just got back like 2 weeks ago.
That's so cool.
That's so much fun. How long did you spend?
We were 4 days in Scotland, and then we went to Switzerland and Paris and London.
Oh, what
so
a trip.
It's part of a bigger trip. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Have you ever done a Ripper tour, a Jack the Ripper tour?
Yeah, we did that back on Girls Next Door when we went with Hef.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Oh, my God, I remember that
episode. We have to do the Jack the Ripper tour.
That would have been me.
And we went to, what is it called? 8 Bells or 7 Bells? Whatever.
7 Bells,
7 Bells, yeah. That little bar. I mean, we walked in and everybody was like,
hello.
Like, how you doing?
Yeah. Then,
like,
the whole place went quiet. And then we also did the, I'm blanking on what it's called now, but it's like a setup place where you walk through.
Yes.
And they have the Jack the Ripper section. They have a plague section. They have like a, all the different like
I would love
horrible
to do
history that happened there.
Yes.
That was fun.
Yeah, when we go to Scotland, I feel like we need to do London too.
Yeah, I got to see Whitechapel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I was disappointed because it wasn't all foggy. Like
I know it's not like you think it's going to be.
They're like, we don't have fog anymore. That was like kind of the Industrial Revolution and like pollution.
Like that was 1888. So.
Yeah.
Like we actually figured that out.
Yeah, we got that under control now.
Some in?
It's better for you to breathe here now.
Get a fog machine.
Fog machines, yes. Can make this feel more authentic.
Yes. I need it.
I love it. Well, this has been so much fun.
Oh, this has been great.
We need to do one of these again. More haunted games together.
We're getting the Lizzie Borden house happening.
I totally thought you guys were going to bring up like light as a feather, stiff as a board. And
oh my God.
We did that one on our last installment. I forget.
Did.
I swear we like research things and then they just fall out of my brain afterwards.
I know because it's too much.
Same.
But light as a feather, stiff as a board has like a dark history actually.
So I've never had success with it. I think people don't take it seriously enough when I'm playing it. But I've heard people that have and have actually levitated people.
I feel like when I was younger, and this is probably like my memory just feeling like as a kid that we did it, I feel like we had a little success, at least like slightly lifting someone.
That's good.
Like. But I don't know if that's just like me as a kid being like, we totally did that.
Yeah.
But we used to do it all the time.
We used to try and play it all the time too, and I don't think it ever worked. I was recently in Canada and I was shooting a movie it wasn't scripted or anything, or at least not my part. I just had to go there and be the paranormal investigator and literally do paranormal investigating with them.
That. That's cool.
And it was sort of just shot reality show style, like no script or anything. And we did table tipping.
Oh.
And it worked.
I would
And the
love
table
to
was
do it.
moving like across the, like, moving.
Holy shit.
Wow.
And this was not set up. Like, this is, like, I know the people who are doing this movie and everything, like, they're friends of mine and stuff. Like, this is not set up. It was a card table. I watched the card table be set up. We put, like, 2 fingers each on it. We had 2 K2 meters on the top. Both of them were lighting up at the same time. And the whole table was, like, moving.
Where was it that you did this?
In Canada, in Winnipeg.
That would be so much fun.
That would be
There was this haunted
outrageous to
hotel
see.
room. And we were in the room.
Stop.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
That would be insane to see.
That I would do.
It was
like no
amazing.
Ouija boards, but I'll table tip.
Yeah, like let's go. Seance, yes.
It was so cool.
That's
and like
so
everybody's
cool.
freaking out and jumping up and like letting go of the table, but it's still moving.
Wow.
And it moved back. And it was crazy because at first I could feel it. Like I could feel like a vibration sort of happening.
some kind of like pulse.
And then
in
like
there.
almost like a tapping from underneath. And then all of a sudden it's like, and it starts sliding.
So creepy.
Yeah.
Is there like some way to make it stop? Like how do you like close it out when you're done?
Everybody just like lets go and
And then
Once
it just
it's like the chain is broken
sits still.
kind of thing.
yeah.
Wow. That is
Yeah.
freaky. I did find my light as a feather, stiff as a board document. It's not as dark as I remember, but it dates back to like the 1600s. But back in the 1600s, they used to say, "Behold, a dead body, still as stone, cold as marble, light as a spirit. We lift you in the name of Jesus Christ."
Ooh.
Which is way darker than light as
Way
light
scarier.
as a feather.
Way scarier.
Yeah. But they've been playing it for, I mean, people have been playing it for ever and ever.
That's how the witch trials started.
Yeah. Honestly, probably.
Light as a feather, stiff as a board shit.
I remember when we did this episode, I don't want to like go over the whole thing because obviously people would be like, you did that. But it was something about how like little girls have a fascination with death and like the other side of things. I think because women were persecuted so often back in those days.
But they were like, I should know about this.
Yeah, exactly. They were
Yeah.
fascinated by it.
That makes sense.
But yeah, so creepy.
Yeah.
It is creepy.
Let's play that version instead.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it'll work for you if you do it that way.
Maybe.
Do it like the OG
It sounds
way.
so much more serious too.
It does. Yeah, that's business.
That is business.
Yeah.
When you bring like dead bodies and Jesus into it,
Yeah.
it's business.
Anytime you bring Jesus into it, that's scary. next time you come, we'll play.
Okay.
All right.
We'll do it.
But to end this off, do you have anything that you want to plug? Obviously, your new pod.
Plug.
Yeah, just the new pod, Ghost Bunny podcast. We have a YouTube channel and the podcast.
Yes.
I love it. It's so good. Check it out, you guys.
And Girls Next Level is so good too.
Oh, Girls Next Level is so fun.
I listen to it all the time.
Oh, good.
I'm totally
Thank
caught
you.
up.
Yep.
And the cover of Ghost Bunny is gorgeous.
Oh,
love
thank
that.
you.
I'm obsessed with. We were just talking about it yesterday. We were like,
Thank you.
stop.
Your
with
dress
this
is so
cover.
pretty. I love it.
So good.
And I feel like you would picture like somebody like running wearing like a white dress. I love that yours is pink.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's the
It
Bridget
couldn't be-
touch.
yeah, exactly.
I love it.
Exactly.
Well, guys, thank you so much for listening. We hope you keep listening.
And we hope you
Keep it weird. But not so weird that you don't go listen to Ghost Bunny, Bridget's new pod.
do it.
Bye.